Gone are the days of the e-ticket and the coupon book. These days you have standby, lightning lane, single rider, rider swap, and Genie Plus to consider when spending your day at Disneyland. It's no wonder I see so many people scratching their heads at the entrance of the rides while trying to figure out where to go. But don't worry guys, I'm here to help. So let's get started. First, let's start with the easiest to understand, the standby line. Simply put, this is your normal everyday queue that you wait in to ride a ride. Nothing fancy, just the regular old line meant for anyone who wants to ride the ride. That's what the posted wait times outside of each ride mean, is how long it will be to stand in just the standby line. So of course, every ride has a standby line, but some rides only have a standby line option. Next up is going to be single rider. This is a line dedicated to those who are alone or don't mind being alone. This is Disney's way of not wasting any precious seat space on popular rides when a group doesn't fill the entire vehicle. Single rider lines are infamously some of the shortest lines in the park, and sometimes people will do single rider lines even when they're with a group just to skip a long wait. But please note that you will not get seated with your group. You'll be split up at the end of the line, and riders must be tall enough and old enough to ride by themselves to participate and enter these lines. Not every ride has single rider line and may change without notice. As of right now, the only participating rides doing single rider is Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, the Matterhorn, and Space Mountain for the Disneyland side, Soarin', and Grizzly River Run, Goofy Sky School, the Incredicoaster,
Why do I need to be fast?
You need to look fast.
Radiator Springs Racers,
Shiny feet don't win races. Now get out there and do it.
and Web Slingers over in Disney California Adventure side. So most definitely DCA is the park for doing single rider, and single rider is the way to go if you want quick, cheap, and easy way to skip lines that are notoriously long. Next, let's talk rider switch. Rider switch, rider swap, stroller swap, whatever you want to call it. This is offered to anyone in the park who may have a member in their family or group that cannot ride a ride for whatever reason. So half of the party rides the ride first, and the other waits. Then they switch with the second party, getting to basically skip the standby line. Oftentimes, this is used by people with babies and toddlers not big enough for certain rides, but it also isn't completely exclusive to that scenario either. Each ride approaches this differently, so asking the cast members at the entrance of the ride is the best practice for this. But typically what happens is you tell the cast member that you'd like to ride or swap. Usually they like to see the entire party that's participating as proof, but not always. Some rides will scan the tickets of those who will return in the second round. Usually up to 3 people can do this, and they'll return to either the Lightning Lane, or sometimes will be directed to go through the exit of the ride to skip the longer standby line. Usually what my family of 4 will do is Dad and Big Sister will ride the ride first. At the entrance, I'll have mine and Big Sister's tickets scanned for Lightning Lane later on. Then I will take the baby and keep her company and do fun things with her while they go ride the big people rides. Then we'll meet up, switch, and I'll return to Lightning Lane with Big Sister, the lucky goose, riding a second time with me, going through the faster Lightning Lane. There are other reasons people may need to use rider swap, like if they have a service animal or someone in their party who is not able to wait in a longer standby queue for whatever reason, you may need to have someone to do that for them. So from what I understand, rider swap can be done in virtually any ride at the parks. Disney really does try hard to accommodate every single scenario so that everyone can enjoy their day at the park. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and remember to be nice to the cast members, and usually they are more than happy to accommodate and help you, as long as you're not trying to be shady or trick the system or anything like that. On to Lightning Lane. This option is mostly offered at the more popular rides. Back in the day, it was called Fast Pass. And it allows riders to skip the standby line by taking a separate line that takes them either right to the front of the line or close to it, usually making your wait 10 minutes or less. There's basically 3 reasons you'd get to use the Lightning Lane. You're doing rider swap, and that's where they have you re-enter the second time. If you've purchased Genie Plus and you've made a reservation for Lightning Lane for a certain ride, or if you've purchased an individual Lightning Lane pass for a particular ride. There are only 3 rides that offer individual Lightning Lane purchases right now. Those rides are Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and Radiator Springs Racers. These rides are not included in Genie Plus. This means that if you want to ride Lightning Lane for any of these 3 rides, you would need to wait until you enter the park and purchase your Lightning Lane pass for that ride that day, and then make your Lightning Lane reservation for the ride time on the app to take advantage of this offer. The price of individual Lightning Lane tickets change depending on the day and the demand, but usually cost between $15 and $25 per ride. Please note that Lightning Lane at Disneyland is very different from Disney World. You do not pre-schedule your Lightning Lane passes like you do at Disney World. Everything has to be on the day of your visit. Now, Genie Plus is something you add to your ticket for that day, and you get to use it all day as long as there are available rides to reserve. It allows you to use the Lightning Lane entrance to any attraction that has Lightning Lane, excluding the 3 individual Lightning Lane rides that we talked about earlier. Generally, Genie Plus prices start at $25 a day per ticket, but can be more if it's a busier day or more popular time of year. You can add on Genie Plus when you purchase your ticket or on the day you enter the park if there are some still available. There are a few catches though. Just like I was saying earlier, it only includes Genie Plus Lightning Lane rides. These rides are Autopia, Thunder Mountain, Astro Blasters, The Haunted Mansion, Indiana Jones, It's a Small World, The Matterhorn, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Roger Rabbit Cartoon Spin, Space Mountain, Star Tours, and over in Disney California Adventure you have Goofy Sky School, Grizzly River Run, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, the Incredicoaster and Toy Story Midway Mania, Monsters Inc., Soarin' Around the World, and Web Slingers. So both parks have a fair amount of rides to choose from. Now you can only reserve 1 riding window for each ride per day, and you can only have 1 reservation at a time. You can make your next reservation once you've scanned in your latest Lightning Lane ride, or once your last reservation expires. This means you want to make your reservations for the soonest windows available. There's also no guarantees or money back if you only get to use it on 1 ride or all the rides you reserved keep breaking down, so buy with caution and be smart with how you're going to use it. Also plan on either bringing a charging rod for your phone or have one person do pictures and the other person do Lightning Lane reservations to reduce phone usage. Long story long, Genie Plus has the potential to save you some time, but it will control your entire day at the park and have you on your phone constantly. This is when knowing yourself and your group comes in handy when deciding if Genie Plus is worth it. You have to ask yourself, how do we want to spend our day at the parks? Are we confused now, or did I clear things up for you guys? And hey, if you liked this video, you may like the one on the right side of the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for now, guys.